Hello everyone, today I have a slightly sad and somewhat complicated announcement, although it could also get somewhat interesting and or funny. And I thought I could probably, due to the thematic, combine this announcement rather well with my first channel trailer. I've never really thought about making a channel trailer, but now I have a new channel, which already brings us to the announcement. This is my new channel and you might already know me. My name is Julian Danzer. I'm from Germany and I study aerospace engineering at University Stuttgart. And in my free time, I make quite a few videos about more or less somewhat related topics. And I have a YouTube channel where I upload these videos called also Julian Danzer, just my name. But this new channel, as you can see, is just called Julian Danzer 2, and that's because it's a backup channel. Because my main channel has received several false copyright strikes, and it is now going to be completely blocked from YouTube. Now, there are a few things I can do about this, there are a few things I am doing about this, there are a few things you can help doing about this, but I'm going to go into those details later. For now, well, I've never really liked asking for likes or subscriptions or whatever, but this is a somewhat special back to essentially zero from over 5,000 videos, over 9,000 subscribers, and over 5 million views. And so, under these circumstances, I would like to ask you if you would like to subscribe to my new backup channel, especially if you had subscribed to my old channel or liked my old channel, then you might want to check out my backup channel too, because that is where my old channel is essentially going to continue. If you've watched or liked or favorited or commented or whatever any of my old videos, you might want to redo the same to the fitting videos on my backup channel. And I would be very grateful if you could spread the word about this among anyone you know who either liked my old channels or watched my old videos through some other platform, or who is interested in the general thematic or within some of these communities like the space flight interested people community or the Kerbal Space Program or Orbiter Forum community. To avoid confusion, this video will be uploaded on my backup channel, which is also my currently active channel, but if possible I will try to link a channel, so you might see this on a different channel than it is uploaded to, though, so you actually click on the video, the actual uploader of this video. And of course, if you go to this backup channel, you'll get a slightly incomplete view of what I'm doing, because currently I'm in the process of making this backup channel, so it's still a little bit chaotic. I can also only upload a limited amount of videos per day. I have already downloaded my complete channel, but to upload the videos back to the backup channel will take 2 to 3 months based on the daily upload limit of YouTube and my internet bandwidth. In the process, I will try to keep it somewhat orderly, but it will inevitably get a little bit chaotic. I am backupping over 5,000 videos, so a little bit of chaos is inevitable. I'll try to clean it up tidy and make the channel more sensible over time. The first videos I used to upload were videos from flight simulators. I did some goofy stunts in flight simulators, then a few serious things in flight simulators, or somewhat more serious practice things in flight simulators. I also play a lot of Kerbal Space Program. Some of my creations are more creative than others. I do have a few slightly more boring, just well-optimized space planes, but I also do some incredibly wonky or weird creations, which you may not get a idea of on my backup channel yet. Unfortunately, for technical reasons, most of that uploading, I can set some priorities, but most of the videos being uploaded to my backup channel right now are just being uploaded in alphabetical order. And unfortunately, the more weird or interesting creations I made in Kerbal Space Program are not first in alphabetical order. I also play around with other simulations like Universe Sandbox. I do make videos of aerodynamic simulations I run in actual engineering and simulation software, and I present some projects or weird concepts that I've thought of and that are common in fiction or among weird images, and that I wanted to put to some kind of test. A year ago, I also started giving talks and explanations, which is probably the category most similar to this video, where I explain physics, the physics behind spaceflight, and why certain things are done the way they are done or could be done differently. Talk about spaceflight news or the more interesting parts of spaceflight news. Explain some weird backgrounds about why exactly generally talk about topics I find interesting, usually somewhat related to this kind of thematic, all the way down to theories about Kerbal Space Program's background lore. I have also uploaded footage from NASA TV and other open channels about SpaceX launches, Soyuz launches, Soyuz landings, dockings, grappling, spacewalks, and so on. I film at my local air show, which is every 2 years, and it's coming up again in 2018. You can look up ELA 2018 or ELA 2016 because that already was, and there is footage of it. And in the downtime, I sometimes plane spot at my local airport. And while at air shows, I not only film the air show itself, I also film talks. I also film at some other spaceflight related events, like astronauts talking about their experiences in space. I also film other things that are on display in an air show, or just interesting things that are on display right at my university. Sometimes I just do goofy experiments or film things that I think might look interesting through a thermal camera with my thermal camera when there isn't a lot of chaos surrounding the setting up of a backup channel. I usually also live stream live feeds and map data from the International Space Station almost 24/7, unless there's some other really interesting spaceflight event. Then I usually live stream that and commentate on it and explain a few interesting things about it. I have started, and although it's now slightly disturbed by the hassle of setting up a backup channel, I will continue reporting on the Falcon Heavy activities and talking a bit about the news surrounding it, but also the physics surrounding it, making a few predictions and explaining, for example, why I think it's about 70% success chance, but also, which is still in production, why I think that setting a Tesla Roadster on top is not really any additional risk. I have done quite a few videos from Orbiter Spaceflight Simulator, including a little modding attempt that I made where I kind of patched together two mods and managed to get a car that looks remotely like a Tesla Roadster onto the tip of a Falcon Heavy rocket. I have also done some racing within the flight simulator of DCS World, and I'm currently trying to get at least acceptably good in Star Citizen. And sometimes, though very rarely, I actually talk about something interesting going on in my life right now, although that's not really fitting the thematic, and there usually just isn't much interesting going on compared to how interesting I think the physics behind spaceflight are, so I usually prefer talking about that. There are also a few slightly goofy still on my channel, and during the relative chaos of setting up a backup channel, you might stumble upon one or two of them. Generally, I think it might actually be a bit of an opportunity if you're a bit newer to my channel. You might be able to see some very old videos of me that you may not have too easily found on my original channel, since they're basically buried below 5,000 other videos. I'm still trying to come up with a system, and I probably will come up with a system. I'm just not entirely sure which one to choose yet, for how to designate and separate new videos that I will make, from this day on my backup channel from old videos that I have copied from my original channel onto my backup channel, so that you can, go on it and watch new videos, but also watch old videos and not get the two mixed up or get the new videos buried below old videos that are just now being uploaded. I'll probably just make a designated playlist for any videos produced between now and whenever I finish sorting out this backup channel. As for my old channel and any comments etc. thereon, I am trying to re-establish my old channel legally, since some of the copyright claims were false and could be legally defined as fraud, but that's a lengthy and unreliable process, so for now you could, of course, go to any internet archive like the Wayback Machine. The Wayback Machine actually doesn't show videos, it only lists videos and shows the comment, but you can't play back the video. On some internet archives you can play back the video, I think, though I'm not sure how legal those are. I'm not going to recommend any technically illegal sites. I'll just say you can Google Internet Archives and look my name up on them, and you'll probably find some backup version of my original channel with all the metadata and all the comments and so on intact. Checking if the website you found is strictly legal comes down to your own responsibility if you care. I'm just not going to recommend any site I'm not sure about. And of course, when it comes to establishing this backup channel, I am, as always, open for any requests. I have, during my 5,000 videos and 9,000 subscribers, always tried to keep a rather close or rather connected community. So if you just comment any request or message me with any request and it's something that is physically possible for me to do, I will most likely answer and follow that request. So if you have any requests, for example, for which videos you think I should prioritize in making my backup channel, then just tell me and I will try to prioritize those videos in making my backup channel. And as for my own videos, you can also feel free to download any videos you like and to spread them wherever you like. This is not any form of general legal advice or anything, of course, but for my videos specifically, I don't really care too much about my copyright, and if you download any of my videos and upload them anywhere else, I'm generally okay with that. It would be nice if you might mention my name or something, especially if I can be heard talking, but feel free to download and spread whatever you like. I would be more happy about anyone seeing something that I have made than I would ever be upset about who uploaded it and who owns it. Unlike certain other channels who never actually made anything but still get upset about owning stuff they don't. I'm not going to go too much into detail here. I'm just going to mention this because I think it's interesting and it might be worth a warning that there is a channel on YouTube called Sign News, uh, which seems slightly shady, and they do tend to copyright strike people who use footage that they also used, even though they don't own the footage either. They even admit that by crediting the source. And while I do think that the Chinese space program is just as interesting and comparably reliable to any other state-funded space agency, if you too like reporting about spaceflight news, you may want to skip on them just safety-wise, because Sci News does have a tendency to strike people using footage of Long March rockets launching, as I've actually heard from quite a few other users who had similar problems. As for slightly happier news, My channel will continue either way in some form or another. You'll always be able to look it up somewhere. And on this backup channel, I will quite soon also resume making new videos again, reporting about the Falcon Heavy launch that is coming up in 2 weeks, doing a few other slightly interesting things, live streaming from the International Space Station again. And I hope I can get at least the more active people on my old channel who wrote some really interesting comments to come over onto this channel and again make some interesting comments if they like. And while this is right now a bit of a hassle, I'm generally a bit busy right now, then I have to set up this whole backup channel, try to fight through the legal issue of my old channel while simultaneously also working on a still slightly secret but also somewhat interesting project and studying for a university. I'll try to find time to make a few interesting videos, and if you have any requests for topics or questions about spaceflight or physics or aviation, I'll try to get around to it between the videos that I'm going to make about the Falcon Heavy anyway. I am also relatively open towards any questions about me, though this is another question I'm sorry I left slightly open among some subscribers who ask about things like this. I'm not actually a privacy freak. I have no problem with privacy. The reason why you haven't really seen or heard much about me personally or my studies at university is that I generally just find these topics a lot less interesting than the topics I usually handle here, like the physics behind airplane optimization. And I was recently asked to talk about my studies at university, and I've started doing so, and I'll try to talk about the more interesting things I do there, although there are some legal limits. I'm not working on any top secret projects, but in general, some university homework just isn't supposed to be put online. Now, if you're still here, I hope this little slightly lengthy update and clarification explained to you why I have not made any new videos within the last few days, though I think I got the most important points across in the first few minutes. I hope so. I'm not really good at putting things short. Either way, I hope this helps with some of the confusion that might now be around my channel. And as always, thanks for watching. And while I don't usually beg for likes or anything, in this specific case I would be very grateful if you would share this or subscribe or like this or spread this or whatever.